A lonely nerd and a delinquent baddie get together to fight aliens and ghosts after they get abducted and possessed. It all started on a regular day when the delinquent Momo got dumped by her gold digger boyfriend. Though he kicked her in the guts and cursed her for being broke before breaking up with her, this needy girl still gets depressed because he was her first ever boyfriend. Her best friends make fun of her, asking what the hell did she even see in that guy. She replies that he looked a bit like her favorite actor, and she always wanted an awkward masculine boyfriend like that. Her friends tell her that no one can afford a masculine boyfriend at this age when people don't even know their gender. Later, Momo drags herself through the corridors when she notices some boys bullying a poor nerd named Ken. Momo takes a seat next to the poor nerd and starts talking to him, and since the bullies don't dare to mess with her, they quickly turn their faces around. She then heads out with her pent-up stress reaching its limit, when suddenly, the nerd Ken comes there. He doesn't dare to face her, but yells that he knows Momo is in love. Momo tells him to come out of his Delulu world because, even though she is desperate, she won't fall for someone like him. However, what Ken means is that she fell in love with the content in his magazine that talks about UFOs and aliens. Momo tells him she's not interested in all those stupid conspiracy theories, but Ken is still persistent like a YouTube pickup artist. Momo tells him to shut the hell up because she doesn't have time for his yapping when she just got dumped. She tells him that he doesn't have any friends because he is a pushy nerd, leaving Ken stunned. Momo immediately realizes that she was a bit too harsh with him and picks up his book while apologizing. She tells Ken that she doesn't believe in aliens, but in ghosts, and he suddenly starts laughing at her. He says that just because she gets ghosted doesn't mean they exist. They start arguing about whether ghosts are real or aliens and decide to prove to each other that they are right. At night, Momo goes to a creepy abandoned hospital because according to Ken, that is the place where aliens abduct humans. On the other hand, she has sent Ken to an abandoned tunnel, saying that it is a spiritual hotspot with many ghost sightings. Ken is nervous, and as he heads closer to the tunnel, he feels the tunnel drawing him in. He asks Momo if she has ever seen a ghost. She tells him that she has not, but she is sure that ghosts exist because her grandma is a shaman, and she has learned all about ghosts from her. Because of her grandma, she always had to do a good luck ritual whenever she left the house and walked to the school while raising one finger above her head. Momo says she always felt odd doing that, and everyone made fun of her, so she got mad at her grandma for telling her to do something so stupid. That is why she had a big fight with her grandma and stopped doing the good luck ritual. However, she now understands that she was not mad at her grandma, but at the boys who made fun of her practices. She tells Ken that she was always proud of her grandma's unique job, and that is why she wants to believe in ghosts. Once she is done with her story, Momo asks Ken why he is into aliens. He tells her that he doesn't need a reason to like aliens, and she is fine with that. Just then, Ken sees some bloody footprints on the ground that stop right where he is standing. He immediately turns around to see if anyone is nearby, and to his horror, there is the ghost of an old hooker who tells Ken that she can give him a hawk tua for $2. Ken freaks out and starts running away from her while screaming. Momo asks what's wrong, and he tells her that he just ran into a lewd old woman, trying to convince himself that he didn't just see a ghost. Momo tells him to stop running because the old ghost called Turbo Granny will chase after him, and if she catches up to him, he will forever be cursed. She is too late in telling this because the ghost catches Ken almost immediately, and Momo only hears his screams before the call ends and her cell phone screen turns red. She thinks that Ken is in danger and rushes to help him when suddenly, the lights of the building go out, and 3 weird-looking people appear. Momo wonders what the hell is happening and tries to run away, but the 3 men catch her. When she wakes up, she is being held captive in a special chair. The 3 men tell her that they are aliens from the planet called Serpo, where only males exist and they reproduce through cloning technology. Excessive cloning messed up their evolution chart, and they have lost all their basic emotions, so they are on Earth to find females here to help them kickstart a new generation. One alien pulls out a massive mechanical schlong out of his pants, which makes her scream, but her struggles are useless as the aliens use their hypnotizing power to put her to sleep. However, just as they are about to take away her V-card, her cell phone rings. They all stop, and one alien goes to pick it up, and then suddenly, The granny ghost comes out of it and smacks him away. She immediately proceeds to bite the balls of the alien and sends him flying. It turns out Ken's body has been possessed by the ghost, and Momo is relieved to see him even in this form. She asks him if he can help her, but Ken loses control of his body to the Turbo Granny, and one of the aliens turns into a humanoid zebra to attack her. The Turbo Granny quickly dodges the attack and then destroys the alien's body. She attacks the last alien after that, but he uses a special attack to send her crashing into the wall. Ken suddenly gets some control of his body back, and he tells the aliens that he is willing to give them anything they want if they let the girl go. He yells that since he had no friends, he always wanted aliens to be his friends. He reached out to them countless times from his childhood, but they never came. He kept getting bullied by his classmates, and no one ever acknowledged him till Momo came along and treated him like a human. He declares that he won't let anything happen to her, even if he has to become a monster for that. He turns into a ghost again, but the alien immediately shoots him and forces him to return to being closer to a human. The alien decides to dispose of him because they don't have any use for males. He then begins manipulating Momo's brain, and as she resists, she remembers how her grandma used to tell her to release her kai from the top of her head. She wonders why she is remembering it now but decides to give it a shot. She tries to release her kai from the top of her head, and suddenly, the device holding her down shatters. No one can believe what just happened, but Momo finally realizes that her grandma was preparing her for this day the entire time. She feels her body overflowing with power and sends the alien flying with a kick, and he crashes into the moon, which was actually their spaceship in disguise. The things with aliens seem sorted, and Momo tells Ken that they should escape now. However, he is under Turbo Granny's control right now, and she attacks Momo. Momo tells her to let go of Ken, and with her power, she pushes the old ghost out of his body. However, Ken begins to squirm around in pain, and Turbo Granny says that she has control of his little banana, and as long as she has that, he will remain possessed by her. Momo tells her to return Ken's manhood to him at once, but Turbo Granny tells her to come to her tunnel so that they can have a fair match if she wants to save the boy. Turbo Granny flies away with that, and then the alien spaceship heads straight towards the building. It pierces through the building, and Momo somehow gets out safely with Ken. Later, she injects her kai into his body to keep him stable. They both realize that both aliens and ghosts are real, and now they have gotten too deeply involved with them. Ken asks how he can get free from this curse, and Momo tells him that they will need to beat the shit out of Turbo Granny to get her to free him. Ken says he will go there and work it out somehow and starts walking away. He takes off his shirt and pants and tells Momo to wear them and go home. She tells him that she can't leave him alone after all this, and he asks if she is sure. He says that he is just an awkward guy, and Momo suddenly feels a waterfall between her legs because Ken just recited a line from her favorite actor. She tries calming herself down and asks Ken for his name because she never got the chance to know it before. He replies that his name is Ken Takakura, which is the name of Momo's favorite actor as well, and her mind is blown away. She immediately starts throwing a tantrum because she can't accept that her favorite actor, who was the peak of masculinity, shares his name with this wimp. She begins rolling on the ground trying to forget what she just heard, and in the meantime, Turbo Granny begins getting control of Ken's body. He asks her to give him some spiritual energy quickly, and she frantically slams him into the wall with her power. Momo then says that they need to set down some rules if they are going to work together. The first rule is that neither of them will mention Ken's name, and she will call him Okarun because he was in the occult club. Ken has no choice but to accept this rule, and they head back to the city while bickering with each other. Soon, the sun rises, and Momo asks Ken to come to her home because he needs a shower and a fresh change of clothes along with expert help. However, as soon as they reach her house, she warns him to be prepared for anything because her grandma is really against her bringing boys home, and she almost killed her ex-boyfriend. Ken freaks out on hearing this, and then as he enters the gate, his body suddenly starts burning. Momo throws him into the nearby canal in a panic and then finds that there was a talisman warding off evil spirits on the gate that caused Ken to catch fire. This dimwit removes the talisman so that Ken can come inside, and only after that does she notice that he got a new hairdo after almost burning to death. She leads him inside the house and finds that her granny is not home.